up quick, so.
Yep, 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Thanks, bro.
All right.
All right, boys. If you want to come down here. What's up, Nino? Talk to us, bro.
Let me just down this real quick.
Oh yeah, down that glizzy real quick.
Yeah. You like to see that go down my throat?
And we'll talk about the gauntlet in 2 minutes, all right? Just
I want my
Nino
mayor
talk.
to be a glizzy gobbler.
Waiting for Chip, right?
We could begin. Chip had to go do a little bit of a modification on a vehicle.
All right, no worries. All right, so the city's been in fucking shambles. I don't know how much that's affected y'all on your day to day, but I can speak it for myself. I just want to do some cell reps in the evening, you know, whenever I had some chance. And I quickly learned that, to cut the entire story short, half the fucking police department is legitimately brain dead, does not understand the laws that they're enacting. They don't understand how to fucking build a case. They have very obviously, in many cases down there, intentionally refused to give me the documentation that allows me to defend my client. My clients. And it turns out that the laws that you would expect would need to be in place to protect you do not exist. There's something called a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. It's the means by which we're able to, as lawyers, get reports, etc., bring it to the docket, whatever. None of that's in legislation. So if you've ever gone to a lawyer and asked them for help and they're like, yo, the PD's this and that, that's why. Because there actually is no recourse or requirement for them to give you shit. I learned that very quickly. And then I started asking myself the question, how did 7 months go by with this sitting console and this issue not only brought up by me, but apparently for some time other lawyers were bringing it up? How was that not resolved? As I continued to dive into things, I came to the realization, just looking at the legislation, that those motherfuckers, from Crane to Max to Shaban to pretty much every individual outside of Solomon, I don't know him too well, because I mean, he was you were in like the console for like 2 weeks before they got rid of you, kind of shit. So we'll leave him out the bucket, and we'll leave Cantor out the bucket. The rest of them, a bunch of lazy, self-serving cocksuckers. I already had the full intent to go after Crane's neck after he more or less told me that the system was working, legislation to protect freedoms was not necessary, and that I was doing this for my own ego. He can suck my dick. I'm glad he's out of office. It would have happened anyways, whether it meant his body or some other means by doing it. Now, the question becomes, where do we go from here? There's currently 3 choices. Myself, Kyle Pred, which unless you want CPD 2.0 or like whatever fucking, incarnation that he decides to do on, twists up on a daily basis, or you want Oswaldo, who, Pinga Fria, whose entire campaign consists of the city does not need a fixer. We need events. I'm your only logical choice. Now, I'm not asking you to consider me because I'm the only option. It is because I am the fucking option. So far, I have passed 10% of the existing the new legislation that's up on the docket. I didn't pass it myself, but I got my fingerprint on it. FOIA is now legislatively mandated. Number 2, weapon license laws are now changing. Hopefully they'll go into place in the next week. So as a racer, you're not getting your weapons license removed from you with a fucking random ass warrant. Number 3, common law that has been law that affects you is finally available to the public and had not been for the past couple weeks. I've been actively working with the judges who aren't fucking useless and alongside other lawyers to make sure things are moving forward even prior to me taking the motherfucking throne. 3 things I'm looking to do. Number 1, transparency. Number 2, Department of Commerce to handle all business applications with a public approval or denial. so that, you know, I can't fucking approve or deny. I wait, like, you know, under the fucking, you know, just because I like you or don't like you type shit. And number 3, empowering lawyers to actually pass legislation or write up legislation so that you, the people, can go to somebody instead of waiting on a mayor that sits in the office for 5 hours and comes up with some bullshit. Any questions?
No.
That sounds pretty
I can't
fucking
lie,
good.
it's- Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know all for that shit, so it's good to know.
Yeah.
Fuck the PD.
Yeah, I can't lie. You had me as soon as you said no loss of weapons license for racing.
Yeah, it's the fact that people are losing their weapons license over racing and non-felonies is quite idiotic. And then others are losing them because the PD doesn't have a... if the PD doesn't write a report, they apparently never had it, and you're selling your gun. That I'm looking to replace with like a registry. So like, let's say, you know, you got a gun license there, Mr. Mana Dem. Mana?
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Mana,
Yeah,
yeah.
mana.
Just
Is that like Mana but Mandem? It's like it used to be Mandem and now it's Mana.
Nothing to do with Mandem.
But it
No,
says
nothing to
Mandem
do
if you
with that.
ignore the OR.
Yeah, it's like an
It's just like
unfortunate
coincidence.
But
Like
it's an
Okay.
unfortunate coincidence, but I wear it to
It
piss
is.
people off.
I got
The
you.
person to my left.
We're waiting for the clothing store to give us a proper one.
I mean, your
Wait,
mask
does that
says the
say
same,
mannered
so
them?
I don't want to hear it.
The
it
fuck,
does.
Eli?
What do you mean? I used to be in the Mandem and now I'm in the manor. It works.
Me too. Technically, it works for both of us. We're both in the
Alright.
manor and in the Mandem.
Brilliant. Manadem it is. Moving on.
Yeah, so like the idea behind like remove the police department from the whole equation. It's a waste of their time, a waste of their resource. I actually understand like who the fuck's gonna want to come down to like get a 30-minute statement that you lost your gun, right? Make it simple. Registry. Nino, let me call you back.
Okay.
All right. Have a registry. You just put in that you lost your weapon. Here's the date. Here's the time. Here's your affidavit. Sworn, like, you know, you have like a fucking signature. Here's what went down. If the PD's got to do something with it, they got access to it. The judges got access to it. Easy peasy, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. New psych department. I want to open up another hospital so that PD can't camp that place because that's fucking idiotic. I want to empower the. I want to enact more like safeguards at the hospital so the PD literally just can't go inside and do whatever the fuck they want. That's like absolutely asinine. You're here to serve and
No
protect.
problem.
And serving and protecting does not mean bum rushing a fucking hospital where there's patients getting surgery, like having their fucking dick out, like who fucking knows, right? Just to get a quick arrest. It doesn't make any sense. The only like realistic exception I can think of is like if there's like armed gunmen like inside or something like that.
Sold.
All right. All right,
Yeah,
easy. Now this goes without saying. I'm going against Oswaldo Pingafria, and even though I think I'm going to destroy him in the polls, the guy has historically been really good at farming votes. That means getting random bozos to put his vote in. So you know, you passing along the message and shit like that, making sure you go out there and vote. Let your friends know, bring them out there, makes a big difference. You know,
I think all
and
the boys were gonna
the way
vote for you
I'm,
anyway.
what's that? Sorry.
I think all the boys were planning on voting for you anyway.
Good fucking shit. The way I look at it is like this, right? We have an opportunity to make a difference. If this is squanbled for some guy that just wanted to make fucking events all day, ends up in office, well, we're the only ones to blame. We can only blame ourselves, right? So, any other like concerns, questions about like whatever it might be, I can that I can address.
The council, what do you plan to do with that?
Remove all of them, other than Cantor.
Fucking amen.
Okay.
Well, Crane's already out. I think I broke his fucking ego a week ago. In his own words, I gave up a long time ago, and then I let him know to shut the fuck up and start writing. And the only writing he did was a plagiarization of Bailey's work, and then he put his fucking name on that shit.
What's up, Nat?
Hey, y'all.
Any other
Nino's
questions?
Nino's just asking questions about his mayorship and what do you want to see and stuff.
Okay.
Have any questions, Vin Peanut?
Shit, do I got any questions? Okay. I could ask some questions, dude. I could ask some questions. Okay, Nino, when you become mayor, I just want to see actual laws that are used every day passed. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's the
Instead of
plan.
that adoption shit.
Yeah, so I'll tell you right
Like,
now.
I want to see. Yeah.
I think the city council, the whole thing was a sham. It was a means by which to make it appear as though people had a democratic voice, when the reality is that the vast majority all voted in line with Crane and Max, and that is blatantly obvious. It's also blatantly obvious that most of the shit they wrote was either written on the spot or by a singular individual. And one of the only guys that was actually putting an effort was the PD liaison at the time, which was his name. He goes by Nakota something or other, who passed 15 actual reasonable changes and was actually backing weapon reform. But because he wasn't falling into line, the guy got bullied out of office. So, any word on the street about like this fucking dog shit about motherfuckers getting pushed out, they can suck a fucking dick, because that's what happened to Ruth. That's what happened to Nakota. And now it's payback time.
Okay.
So
okay, it's about time somebody put this. You know what I'm saying? That there, man. For sure.
Second thing I want to mention to you is actual laws. Lawyers, I want to empower to be legislators, right? So they can write shit. So, like, let's say Solomon here goes back to doing, law work, and you think something needs to change with mechanic law. You can lean on Solomon to write that shit up and present it. So you're spending 30 minutes at a council meeting, like reviewing and passing it on. And not to mention, you'll have other lawyers to lean on to make sure that that shit is drafted well. We don't need 5 people writing law. You can utilize the entire fucking city. People can write. People have got brains. You shouldn't need some special piece of paper telling you otherwise.
Okay, fair enough. Everybody has a voice. Everybody got a voice on what you're saying.
Yeah. Now, obviously,
I fuck
like,
with
if
that,
it's like dumb shit, like someone else tries to pass like an anti-clown act, I'm not gonna waste my time with that. Just
No, 100%. That's the problem that we had, bro. Motherfuckers making adoption laws instead of focusing on shit that actually matters in this goddamn city.
Yep.
Motherfucker worried about adoption.
Business
can't
law
adopt
will
this person,
be.
Can't say that.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm looking on the government website right now. Does anybody see the impeachment case up there? Because it's not up there anymore.
I don't expect any of that to happen, to be honest. Reality of the matter is,
doesn't that mean like it would be closed or something if it's not up there?
is it pinned?
I don't know. Like, I'm looking all over for this and I can't find it.
Yeah, you're talking about Max and Siobhan?
Yeah.
Yes, it is closed.
That's been closed out.
Is there a section we can look at closed ones?
So this is what it says. This mayoral impeachment filing offers actions taken by the mayor's office that fall well within its purview and right. While some may be considered ethically dubious at best, none of the actions passed were inherently illegal per the authority given to the mayoral position. None of the legislation passed or actions taken contravened the Constitution as it has existed throughout both terms of Mr. Thurber's administration. Simply put, there is not enough here to justify an expedited and truncated impeachment hearing. So essentially, a judge has decided, fuck off.
Okay.
And what
The
judge
case
was
has been.
What was the judge?
I want to.
Let him continue. Say that again.
I think for us. Use the problems you lament to amend legislation and make changes to ensure no other administration can behave as deplorably as you assert this one to have. Instead of bemoaning what has come to pass, use it to prevent it from happening again. This case is dismissed with prejudice.
I think that was Raya.
That was a big old go fuck yourself.
Who's the judge?
I think it's Surge Cross.
I'll comment on that afterwards. I read it.
The big circle, the big fuck circle that they have, huh?
I don't think it's actually that bad.
Yeah, it's kind of
I actually agree with what Serge wrote there. All right. Any other questions you guys got?
No, I'm all good.
All right, easy. I am very much available. My entire platform is going to be outlined on a website that is just needing one more Passover, and you'll be able to find all the info on votenino.com. It's like I said, it's just doing one more pass to make sure everything on there looks good. But if there are other areas of concern that you think need focus on, do not hesitate to bring it up to me.
Oh, actually, hold on. Can I add my bad? One more question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that okay?
Yeah, of
Yo,
course.
listen, dude. So listen, I'll be honest with you right now. The only businesses are fucking dead, right? And
I got
obviously
you.
For a long time,
Let me answer your question.
Go ahead.
Department of Commerce. It is going to be the authority for doing the initial review of all business proposals. First come, first serve. Every approval and denial will have a reason for why it was accepted, why it was denied, and if denied, what the recourse is. And I don't mean like, I don't like his t-shirt, like an actual fucking reason, Yeah. And all of that is going to be public available. So if Vinny gets denied for some bullshit reason, the public is going to know. Also, it cuts out the whole... Go ahead.
I was told under Max that CG will never have a business.
Yeah, I don't think the city council should be making decisions as to what gets approved and not. That should be based on legislation. I do think that there should be still some, the mayor will still have power to do what he did, but it would need to be done transparently, right? And because it would be transparent, you could, take out the mayor. You get what I'm saying? So in other words, if Max were to use such a system and he wrote what you just said or came up with some bullshit reason, now you have legal recourse because it's documented, right? Because where it circles back to is without transparency, you cannot hold the government accountable. They can do whatever the fuck they want because you don't get to listen to the backroom conversations and all that shit. Does that make sense?
100%.
Yes, sir.
Also, I want to ask you about, so for a long time, it's been non-felons that can only have businesses. Now, under your mayorship,
all that's getting repealed. That entire, ignore the business license shit. It's dog shit. I don't know who the fuck wrote it. The entire thing was like 5 people in the city can have a business, and here's 50 ways that the FBI can break into your business and the government can take it over. It's brain dead. I've run more businesses than anyone else in the city. I've funded more since the fucking beginning of time, and I would never in a million years want something like this. I'm perhaps one of the first victims of Max's cuckening when his previous chief of staff, Juno Sweeney, had a problem with someone I bought materials from, and because that reason, that brain dead motherfucker tried to gaslight me into thinking that she was a pivotal component and that I lied to him, and he said denied forever. Well, you know what? His time in the city is now denied forever. So, it is what it is.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, say
Hey,
fucking less,
fucking
man.
men,
That sounds
baby.
great.
Yeah, I'll even say it
That
for us.
sounds good.
Obviously, Nino, we know your history with the mechanic shop and ours as well. We got shit on by the mayor to the point where we literally had to shut down between him promising being on the business commerce to help other automotive businesses get up and running, all the way to saying he was going to help with materials and all these other things. And obviously, it was all false promises and bullshit. So we actually shut down the business originally because of his dumbass antics. And then recently, there's like a resurgence in the automotive space because now, obviously, you remember this at the time when we were doing mechanic shit, we'd only work on rentals in Group 6.
Yeah.
There was very thin business to go around. And of course, the lumber union and any civilian-based job where they provided a vehicle. Well, now that people own vehicles and we can actually repair them, business has obviously came back around. We started back up. Is there any like any situations that you may see as a problem as owning a mechanic shop? I know you mentioned no felonies and shit like that don't
not
matter,
in
but-
particular. So I do believe in laissez-faire to a degree. Laissez-faire with a sprinkle of government regulation. And what that means is laissez-faire means like free market economy. Anyone can start a business. Any business can do whatever the fuck they want to succeed. But I do believe that government needs some regulatory laws in place to ensure a competitive and free-flowing market to prevent what happened in the United States, where like one fucking company owns like every fucking brand under the sun and then has the ability to do political lobbying until there's like fucking 5 motherfuckers that make all the decisions and everyone else takes it up the ass. That's not going to happen in Los Santos.
Are you going to look to change the tiers of businesses? Like there's like these A, B, C tier type shit and like who can own what?
No, I don't know what the fuck the point of any of that is, to be honest.
I'm saying, are you going to be looking to get rid of that?
Like pretend that shit doesn't even exist. Like that
Okay.
entire thing's getting rewritten. It was written by someone who's never run a business before. It was written by
Let's go
someone
talk
that
about
just
you,
wanted to
Goldman.
own everything.
Here's another one for you, Nino.
Yeah.
How many competitive businesses are you going to approve? Like, is there going to be 100 mechanic shop? Is there going to be 100 pawn shops? How are you going to limit or control the amount of businesses, or is there going to be?
That is, I don't have an opinion on that because I haven't thought of it. I think that goes into so much of the nitty gritty that we need the Department of Commerce functional, and then as let's say we do get to a point where there's too much of something, that is when it should be revisited as it gets close to it, right?
Okay.
And the reason I say that is it's kind of like you don't want to start talking about like what curtains you're going to put in the house when you're currently working with a construction organization that has cement that doesn't dry.
So, well, the preface on why I asked that is the existing mayor or the committee has said they only projected 3 automotive businesses.
Everything
repair
business
shops.
related, ignore it. It's all being
Okay,
revisited
perfect.
from the ground up.
Okay, that's it. That's all I need
Yeah.
to know. Perfect. Beautiful.
I had a question, Nino. Nice to meet you. Names and links.
Does it make it?
So
That's your Cisco, but yeah.
Sorry, what? Solomon?
What? Cisco, what? Okay.
So if a business does get denied a license, right? Do they have an option to reapply?
Yeah, that's why there's a denial. So if it gets
Oh, the
denied,
thing,
it
okay.
comes with recourse. So if, like, for example, like I've already gotten approached, and I'm gonna be real with you. If someone approaches me and they're like, "Yo, I'm trying to do this kind of thing. Like, let me get your vote." I'm gonna tell them to suck my dick because I'm the fucking mayor, not like your personal whatever you want to call it. And it usually means they don't know what the fuck they're doing because it means that they don't know how to begin. And business can be started with just what's available, right? Some people wait too long because they'll say, "Hey, man, I'm waiting until like a local shows up at my fucking mechanic shop and lets me buy tires from him before I begin." They're a waste of time. They don't have what it takes to run a business. They're a consumer.
got you.
They need to take notes from existing businesses.
All right, sounds good.
So yeah, there's gonna be that kind of information, right? If it's like, "Yo, dog, like this is construction related, like relax," or that may
appreciate
go
that.
into a bucket where, because they're categorized, let's say for example, there's a lot of desire for something in an area. It's notwithstanding that the mayor can't bring this up to the feds and be like, "Yo, there's like you know what I mean?" It's not word of mouth at that point. You got data pointed at people looking for something that makes sense.
Right. No, it makes sense. All right, cool. I appreciate that, man.
All
One
right.
thing I had a question about is I've heard a lot of people talking about like materials and whatnot, how it's pretty much impossible to buy materials right now. Everyone that's running sanitation are doing it for a company they work
Yep.
for or a gang that they're in, and I feel like that's going to be even harder for new businesses to get off the ground. Is there anything
New businesses are
that
always going to have a
might help that?
difficulty. And new businesses are always going to have a difficulty because inherently they need capital, right? No matter what you're going to do, you need capital. Businesses like the one that Vinny is running, or like literally any other business running in the city, they're probably backed by like a severe amount of funding that was built up over the course of 7 months. So if someone's like been in the city for a month, understandably, they're not going to have capital even if they have a great idea, right? You're not going to start a loan business being in the city for 4 weeks unless you're a fucking guru, at which point you probably don't even need the government to begin with. Why does this relate to materials? It's the same sort of thing, right? People that are getting materials got the connections for it, by and large. The second component is that sanitation is limited to a select number of folks that want to focus on sanitation, and probably they're getting it directly for a particular shop that needs it. So the way that I'm looking to solve that bigger picture is getting actual economic data and making it visualized for everyone that's a part of the conversation. Now, what that means is, could anybody, do you think, tell me today how many materials are being produced in the city on a per capita, like daily or weekly cycle?
Yeah, I don't think anyone could.
Probably not. Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure you can simply by, pulling an estimate from the state accounts and running it across like data that already exists. Like talk to a sanitation guy. How many, pull how many, 300 star, 200 star, 100 star employees there are. So you can get rough estimates. You can then get rough estimates on what the expenditure of it is. You can start making more intelligent decisions on that. Like right now, no one's done the work to actually take the data that's available and make sense of it. They've all like done it. The council has consisted of like talk to one guy and pretend you know what the fuck you're doing and execute on it. That's not how you do it. The future of the mayor's office is going to be run like a business, as is every other mayor's office throughout, the developed world. All right. Looks like we're good here. Any other questions?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely,
All right.
man. It sounds like you know what you're doing, and
Easy.
yeah, hell yeah.
Like I said, get the word out there. It means a lot. Make sure you go to the polls, bring your friends and shit like that. If they're on some dumb shit voting for the other candidates, let them know that you're about to waste your vote and waste your time, because the city needs fixing, and you need the right person that's got some, knows what they're doing. All right. Easy. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Nino.
Thank you, Nino.
All right.
Yeah.
Go take care.
Thanks, Nino.